So having successfully updated the demo on the Thursday, I realized I still got quite a bit of work to do. So last devlog, I shared how I was going to update the current demo by Thursday, and I was able to do that. So I'm really quite happy that I've now done that. And it's a lot more of a better representation of what the game, I guess, is closer to looking like. And what I also did is I also shared my current demo with a few sort of close friends and family to get them to playtest. And I've now got quite a big list of, bugs that popped up and even just other things which I could make, for example, clearer within the game. And I found this process really interesting because there's a lot of stuff which either I missed or things which were common sense to me but wasn't necessarily common sense to other people that played it. So getting that feedback is obviously one of the things. The other thing as well is I'm finding that, especially with this process, I am feeling a little bit more tense, right? Because my plan really is obviously to release the full game by the end of this month. I don't want to push it back any further, and the delays I've had obviously haven't been ideal. But in this instance, a lot of the time it is just trying to focus on the experience, right? Can I create the experience that I want for the game? So I basically obviously just sent the demo sequence for people to play. What I'll probably do is within the next week and a half, I'm going to send the full game to just a few sort of close friends and family and try and get more so, I guess, the kingdom scene all sorted as well. So very exciting, but also very tense as well. And so really, I guess this month it's just going to be trying to keep my head down and just get through as much as I can. As well, I'm also finding is that this is obviously going to be my first game. So again, it's not going to be perfect, but I'm just going to try and focus on the experience. And if people like it, then that's obviously cool as well. So moving on to what we're going to be focusing on next week, or just I guess the up until the next devlog, I'm going to be fixing the the errors and the stuff that I've been sort of obviously encountering, but also other people have been encountering, and getting those bugs fixed. I've also I'm going to get them to sort of fill in a form with a few extra bits. So based on additional feedback, that should really help. What I'm also going to be doing, I'm also going to be redoing all of the weapons, armor, and items. That being the actual stuff itself, but also the actual images themselves. I finally managed to lock in on a good art style, on a good art style for them. So that's good. One of the cool things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be redoing combat actions. So at the moment in the game, combat actions, could be like slash, cut, overhead strike, whatever. And at the moment, they're pretty much just, either the damage is amplified or the hit chance is amplified. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be having combat actions that are very unique to one another. So you could have a combat action, for example, that's like, like clip armor, where when you hit, if you land a hit on their armor, that strike then deals a minimal amount of damage to like effectively to that person's body, right? But like small things like that, perhaps even like attacks where you can feint, and even stuff like that, and they're going to be unique to certain weapons, so that every weapon that you use and I guess go up against is always going to feel a little bit unique. You could have like combat attacks like a pommel bash, where it deals very little, if any, health damage, but if it hits, it deals a lot of balance damage. And the idea of balance in the game is that the lower balance you have, the more likely you are to go off balance or to fall. And that makes you far easier to hit and makes it far harder for you to hit the enemy. So that's just stuff, again, which I'm going to be focusing on the upcoming weeks. And yeah, pretty much, obviously I've got the whole kingdom scene stuff, which I need to test a bit more. But as for the story, we're pretty much done. The only thing I need to do with story is pretty much redo some of the images or refine them a little bit. I switched back to ChatGPT for the cutscene images just because Gemini wasn't doing them as consistently as ChatGPT. So that's pretty much where I'm at. But yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, at the time of recording, this is the 7th of February. So really, we've only got another, three weeks, I guess, until, I'm going to be sort of looking to obviously release the game. So yeah, again, the demo out currently on Steam. You can obviously play. It's finally updated. I am still in the process of updating it and fixing bugs. So again, I appreciate you having a bit of patience if you are going to play the demo. But yeah, I'm always open to feedback. I have actually released Guard Steel demo on itch.io, so you can leave comments on there and feedback as well. But yeah, hopefully you're sort of enjoying the journey and looking forward to the full game out as much as I am. And with that said, I'll catch you next week.